I think the American League every single year is very predictable. Back in the day, in the early 2010s, which for me is back in the day, I'm sure other people like 50s would be, I mean, the AL has always been the same. It was the Yankees dominating. And then early 2010s, when I was growing up, it was Tigers and Rangers. Those were always the two who dominated the American League. Now, recently, it shifted to the Yankees and Astros. They would always be in the American League Championship. But this year, it's very clear because the NL is crazy this year. The Cardinals may be coming back in the Central. Who knows how the Central is going to shake up? The Pirates were in first. The Diamondbacks, but the NL is just insane.
The
The
Marlins are surprising a lot of people.
true. I do agree with that. The Marlins are surprising a lot of people. Um, but the American League's always way more predictable. So you got, but this year, which is interesting, is because the American League East is a little more shifted up, and I think the two power teams, but it's a three-team race. The two power teams right now are the Rays and the Orioles, and they're the two power teams in the MLB right now. With the
Who's the
Yankees
third
coming
team?
back, with the Yankees coming back. So the three of them, I think, are the race to watch this year. And if you look by the numbers, you would think Tampa has it in the bag. They're first, and we got some numbers right here. They're first in just about every single category that you could have. Tampa Bay on base percentage, slugging percentage, even some pitching. I think they're first in whip. They're first in just about everything. But the problem is, can you win the big games? Because Tampa Bay has been competing. They've been competing every year since 2020. They made the World Series in 2020. But can you win when it matters? Randy Rosarino, we know, is going to show up when it matters. He had 10 home runs in that playoff run. Wait, what about everyone else? What about McClanahan? What about the rest of that pitching staff? They do have a guy on their staff that has a 7 ERA. So what about that? What if he has to pitch game 4 in the playoffs? That's going to be the big thing. And I lean Baltimore. I really lean Baltimore. I like their young core centered around Adley Rutschman. They've got some veterans in there too. I lean Baltimore because yes, they've only played one series. The Orioles won it 2-3. Um, I lean Baltimore more because they're young and we don't know what they're up to. And Baltimore's winning versus the division. They just went in Toronto and swept them. So I think that it's way too early to know for sure. The Rays have the stats advantage, but this is going to be a three-team dogfight versus the Yankees who've been around a while, haven't necessarily won their World Series. They haven't made their move. Tampa Bay's been around a little while, haven't won much. And then the Orioles are brand new. So if it's between me, I'm taking the brand new team. I think the Orioles are they're 2.5 out right now. I think they're hot. I think they're coming to get Tampa, but it's going to be an amazing race. And you got the rest of the AL. It's the Rangers at 29-17. Impressive, but I don't think that's going to stick for long. The Astros may come back. We'll see. I don't think they're as powerful this year, and then the Central is not a factor as the Central team, at least right now. So I think the AL is very clear cut, but they're different teams. And Tampa and Baltimore, I think, is going to be a dogfight with the Yankees hanging around. And last point before I throw it over to Jake, what happened to the Blue Jays? They were my preseason pick. There is nothing impressive about them right now. They have no energy. At least when they had Jose Bautista at Carcino and Edwin and Carcion, all those guys, you felt the energy. You felt this and the energy in that stadium. There is no energy. Vlad does not hit a lot of homers anymore. You got Bo Bichette, so you got some exciting players, but they're just not gelling. That pitching is not deep. Baltimore on Saturday, man, they just made a mockery of them. Felix Bautista came in and mowed them over, and the Blue Jays could not shut it out. They had nobody to shut it out. So they're just a huge disappointment. That division's tough, but I think it's a three-team race, really. I think it's Yankees, Orioles, Rays, and I do like the Orioles right now. What do you think on the division, and who do you think's the early favorite, Jake?
Obviously, I've talked about the Rays a whole lot. I love the Tampa Bay Rays. I've talked about them a whole lot. Love that pitching staff. Love that offense. But I kind of agree with you. I kind of gotta go with the Orioles here. I love the Orioles as well. I love their pitching staff, led by Grayson Rodriguez. I love the young core they built around Adley Rutschman. Um, but the Yankees. Look, the Yankees have always been good. They have the Bronx Bombers. Um, so they can hit home runs, and they got good pitching staff to go along with it. Nestor Cortez, they got Domingo Germán. They got a nice pitching staff, but I gotta agree with you. I gotta go to the Orioles.
But
I think it's gonna come down to the two team race. I think it's gonna come down to the Orioles and Rays. I don't think the Yankees are a big factor in this division.
well, I disagree with that. I think the Yankees are a big factor, but what my point with that is the Yankees obviously the or Rays and Orioles have built themselves different. But my point is, and just to close this
Mhm.
out, is there's blood in the water in the American League right now. Because is it still predictable? Yes. Can only like three or four teams still win it? Yes. There's a lot of teams that have no chance, but there's no there again. The Astros could come back. They very well could come back, but right now they're not. They're stuttering right now. And Justin, well, no more Justin Verlander. They got to find more of an identity pitching wise. And the Astros are stammering, and the Astros have had a deathlock on this. They went to the World Series in 2021, 2022. They were runners up in 2020. 2019 they went, and that they've kind of dominated the American League for 5 years. So there's blood in the water. It is very likely an American League East team is going to be representing in the World Series. Tampa went once, but it was the 2020 season, so I'm sure they want to go again. Yankees have not been. The Orioles are brand new on the block, so man, this is going to be a fight, and I'm very interested to see how it pans out.